My family and I immigrated here from Vietnam. They're like, we need to figure out, this guy needs to do something with his life. And she looked at me and she's like, Glenn, do you want to be a loser the rest of your life? Nothing motivates you more than with the blunt honesty of your family. All the young doctors out there listening, you want to keep your side job to pay the bills and then invest everything in your practice. That's just my 2 cents.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Dr. Glenn Vo.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much, Dr. Jonny, for being on. I mean, look, I've been trying to get this dude's attention for quite some time. So I'm so happy to be on here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And hopefully I can provide some value for your listeners and viewers.
A little bit about where you came from and what led you to dentistry.
My family and I immigrated here from Vietnam. I actually was born here in the States. My mom was pregnant with me, so I barely made the cut. I came to the States. And my dad was in the military. And so part of the reason why we were able to come over is because he had political asylum. Fast forward how I got into dental school. Well, my sister was a dentist. I graduated college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was traveling, just kind of chilling out. She brings me into her office, says, hey, can you help me assist in my practice? Because my assistant was out. Little did I know that the whole family came together. They had an ulterior motive. They're like, we need to figure out, this guy needs to do something with his life. And my sister, I was assisting on a composite. She stopped what she was doing, and we're working on a patient. I was assisting, I was suctioning, right? She looked at me and she's like, Glenn, do you want to be a loser the rest of your life? I'm like, what the hell? And then the patient looked up because she wanted to know if I wanted to be a loser too, you know? They all looked at me. And I was like, no, I don't. She was like, well, then that's the reason I brought you here. Is this something you think you can do? And I was like, yeah, I like it. I like the patient interaction. And that's honestly, that's how I got into dentistry. And then the rest has been history. A lot of times people look at dentistry and they say, well, you know, I'm burned out because I'm tired of working on teeth and blah, 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 blah. And the thing is that you have to anchor the things that you love in dentistry, right? No one's going to always love their job 100%. But you find bits and pieces of your job that you love.
Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, how long were you practicing? How long did you start before you started?
Yeah. I opened a practice right in the middle of the real estate crash. So I remember when I was opening practice, I was like, man, this is a lot harder than I thought. You know, people don't have money and stuff like that. The thing is like I opened at the toughest time, but what that meant was it was only uphill from there. So when I went through that, the housing crash, every year it got better. And I was like, dude, this is a piece of cake, right? And so even when we went through COVID, I was like, oh, I've been through this before. I know how to manage this. I wanted to impact more people beyond the 4 walls of my practice. And that's how I got into social media, Nifty Thrifty dentists, help people save money and get great deals. And I monetized that group to not only help me grow this, but also helped other doctors, got into speaking. And
Nifty Thrifty now is a Facebook group that you start, has over 50,000 dentists in it, right? So tell us a little bit about Nifty Thrifty, what started it, how did it get so big?
A lot of times people think Nifty Thrifty, that's, oh, you're trying to be cheap. No, it's not being cheap. It's just being smart with your resources. And when I opened during the housing crash, they weren't lending a ton of money, right? I had to make it work. I had to be the IT guy. I had to do stuff. I had to be the repairman. I had to stretch our money. So the group was really founded on helping doctors who, you know, they just want to find the best deals for things, right? The best way to do things, get some free advice. That's how the group grew.
Let's go from Nifty Thrifty Dentists. Now you founded an absolutely beautiful magazine called Dental Lifestyle. Where did that come from?
There are so many stories out there in dentistry, right? Personal stories, business stories, all these different things. I'm lucky to have Dr. Jonny featured in there because he shared his story too. So the magazine was there to get all these stories that we know exist out there, but need to be heard, right? And my hope is that it resonates. And again, it's all about relationships, right? I give out to the world. Hopefully everyone comes closer together. Hopefully someone reads the article that Dr. Jonny provided and then they reach out to him. It's all about creating those connections. And so that's how the magazine came apart.
And you know, success follows action. You can learn everything. You can take webinars. You can go to seminars until you have a PhD in any type of until you actually go and take action and do something to move towards you don't ever go there. So you've been an action taker been hustling, right? You went and got a degree. You went and opened a dental practice. You started a magazine. You got this Facebook group growing. You know, now you got this publishing company. It's like you just keep moving and pushing to the next level. Okay, first of all, we didn't even talk about, you have 2 books, number one, by the way. Can you show us the books? He's also an author and has 2 published books.
Yeah.
Andy, can you show us the title?
Yeah, so I have one of them here. So this one here, in growing your brand through meaningful connections, engagement online. The whole point of that book is basically what I've been talking about, right? Like you can grow your brand, whatever your business is, through for meaningful connections. And there's a way you do meaningful connections, right? It's not like, hey, what's up? I'd love to connect with you. Like the spam, I call it the spam messages you get on LinkedIn. Hey, you're in my network. Let's connect, right? I'm like, the heck are you? Blah, 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 blah. Right? Or you could just say, hey, I love what you're doing. And you can be specific about it. Let me know what I can do to help. This is what I do. Let me know how I can help you. Right? There's a difference between saying, hey, you're in our network and let's have a Zoom meeting, right? Like you just met the guy, you want to have a Zoom meeting, right? So again, meaningful connections, right? And so that's what it's talking about. It's something that I grew my business with. And you know, some people don't know that, and that's why the reason I wrote that book.
So let's kind of switch gears here a little bit. This is about dentists that invest in financial freedom. So I'm remiss to not at least ask, what is a mover and shaker like you investing in here? So
one of the investing things I do a lot of is a lot of like lending deals, a lot of hard lending deals, short term, long term. Basically, what that is that I have some money. Some investors need the capital. It's easier to get it from me than to go to the traditional bank. And then I lend the money and they give me back a certain return, anywhere between like 10 to 15%, right? Depending on the deal. So tell us about the hard money lending. I mean, so these are for flips, for flipping houses, and what are the... So for mainly for flips and for rehab. So again, the person I've worked with a few investors, entrepreneurs that do this, and they've built a great business. They literally use other people's money, right? But the thing is like they're able to use other people's money because they have a track record. They're good, right? So again, just to understand that if you're doing like a long-term deal, the longer term deal, there's I would say a little bit more risk in that, because you know things can go sideways. So you want to make sure you get this thing called the first lien, right? Basically, you got the rights to the property just in case something goes sideways. The shorter term deals is not as risky because they're really like, hey, we just need a little capital so we can do some quick rehab, and we're going to flip it right away. The longer term deals is they're holding this property to sell at a certain time, and again, things can happen. I mean, we just went through something, right? So interest rates and whatnot. We like to ask our guests, okay, so the top 3 advice you would give to a entrepreneurial minded dentist. What I tell people is you can have all the coaching, all the knowledge, all the skills, all the SOPs, all the systems. We see this all the time. Like people are like, who's the best consultant for this? Who's all this stuff? And I say, look, you took all these webinars, you have all the information in your head. What your lack is in execution. So average people have all the systems, but they lack execution. The exemplary people, they have execution. So if you want to differentiate yourself as from a normal person to someone extraordinary, it all lies in the execution. The second thing is that for a long time, a lot of my success was rooted in wanting to prove people wrong, right? Oh gosh, I'm gonna prove that person wrong. They think I can do it, prove that wrong. And a lot of people, that's been really good. If you're one of those people, what happens is you can continue proving people wrong, but when you do that, what does that leave you feeling? Do you feel empty inside? Do you feel fulfilled? You might feel a little fulfilled, but you're still empty and you're looking to prove someone else wrong. What I've learned from a mentor is you shouldn't be motivated to prove people wrong. You should be motivated to inspire people. The third thing is that listen to the people who came before you, right? You like to say success leaves clues. I love that. I love that quote there. The thing is that you can learn a lot from people, not what they did, but what they did wrong. Give us top 3 resources that you found useful. I'm gonna give a book. I'm gonna give an app. And then I'm gonna give like a tool, okay? So I'm gonna start with the book, okay? It's called Solve for Happy by Mogadot. Okay, the app is, of course, it's Audible, right? Now, why do I love Audible? Because you know what? I love reading books, but sometimes I don't have the time. So during my workouts, I take a part of my morning ritual is I take a 2-mile walk, just walk and just relaxing, start my day relaxed. I listen to a audiobook. So Audible's big thing. Now the third thing is a tool, and it's going to be related to this. So it's ChatGPT. Now, people hear about ChatGPT. Oh, I want to write all these things. This is what I use ChatGPT for. When you listen to an audiobook, you're going to miss a few things. So I go to ChatGPT and I say, ChatGPT, write me a study guide for the audio version of a certain book. So what I do is I listen to the audiobook and then I go through and I look at the study guide. Like, did I miss this? Oh, okay. And then I ask ChatGPT to clarify it. So again, nothing's going to beat reading. In fact, nothing's going to beat reading a book. Nothing is going to beat reading a book and taking notes. But the closest thing you can get with Audible is have ChatGPT write out your study guide. And then if you want more, just say, ChatGPT, can you come back and give me a specific study guide for chapter 3 on this, and this? So those things have been influential to me, and it would be very influential to everyone else.
Well, I think this was great. This was a great. This is a goddamn great Facebook Live, and we're happy to have you here, man, Dr. Glenn Boyle, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and then guys, reach out anytime you guys have any questions or anything.
Reach out to Dr. Glenn Boyle. Amazing amazing guy. You've seen him here. Amazing doctor that's achieving many things, and we're gonna definitely have you on again so we can get some updates on all the other achievements that you've made, and give us some more progress updates on the things that you're working on currently.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Take care.